$5 says the top comment is this the canine?
What about this? You fall in love with somebody and they have an animal that scares the living shit out of you. Do you still continue to see them?
No, you fake a flight home. You'd rather pick you up at the airport.
This happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You met somebody, you're like, oh my god, they're great, and then their animal.
Well, you don't have an animal. I just really didn't like him. So I think you just gotta find a reasonable out any way you can.
He didn't technically own a snake, but spiritually he was like a guy that owned a snake.
He was a snake.
Spiritually, yeah, he was a reptile.
She could have been Gabby Petito'd real quick.
Spiritually, he was a weatherman. Oh! I really don't like this movie theater. There's a lot of meteorologists. You know, what can I say? They send things back. It's an Alamo. Just take the popcorn, okay? You send back popcorn?
Oh, I went to one of the Alamos where they had the app, and you can just order popcorn with a button. They shut that shit down because of me, dude. I was like, you're telling me a boy will just bring me a bowl of popcorn with a button? I'm like that.
A little butter boy?
Bring the butter boy. I'm like that little mouse that had the button that pushed it till he orgasmed himself to death. That's me, but with butter popcorn and Alamo. And they were like, we're not doing the
little bottle.
I want them to bring it like that so I can suckle. Give me a gallon of Diet Coke. Bring me 2 refills at a time. I want to save you some steps, buddy.
The second time, they had a little notes, and he wrote shirtless question mark.
You play ball?
She has no idea what Alamo is.
I was gonna ask, but I felt bad interrupting. What is that? I'm from Colorado. Am I uncultured, or is
Do
it
they have them in
niche?
Colorado?
It's just a movie theater where they have truffle popcorn that costs $12.
Is that halal?
Is it halal?
I mean, you're Jewish, so.
I imagine it's halal,
I
right?
guess it's
Truffles?
a Hebrew thing.
Ooh, I don't know. Probably it's a
Halal.
vegetable.
Yeah, but they have truffle sniffing pigs. So.
Halal is when you put the truffle on the popcorn while praising
Or
the name of
kosher.
Allah,
Yeah,
right?
okay, well-
Yeah, you pray 5 times, you make it.
Okay. If popcorn's not halal, I'm definitely not going to be Islamic.
Then I'm a bad Muslim.
I guess I won't be doing Jannah when I die, okay?
But it's a movie theater with like waiters, so it's unfortunate.
That is, like,
And
so
you can get like pizza and stuff. So it's a movie theater that smells bad and has people going, "Can I get you anything else?"
Imagine watching a movie and hearing 100 people eating next to you.
I think somebody's
That's Alamo.
embezzling because all of the movie theaters in Colorado have closed since Netflix. Like, realistically.
The
Yeah.
Penny Theater?
Oh, a movie that only charged a penny? When I
That business model seems bulletproof.
I think it was
we were
the
ironclad.
I'm sorry, it was the Dollar Theater. I was 98 pennies off. Or 99.
We used to have the $2 theater.
I like the idea you come in with exact change and they're like, bitch, just bring $1.
They used to have, by my old house, they had a $2 theater, and then the recession happened, and it became the $4 theater. That was crazy. But there were still fights at that mall all the time. Every time you went to that mall, there were just fights in there nonstop, and now it's in Citrus Heights, California.
Man, I don't care about this Ukrainian inflation. I'm still fighting the motherfucker.
Sunrise Mall still got me
I'm
fighting.
getting an airbrush shirt that says me and Sharice, and I'm gonna pop that bitch off.
I'm gonna get my name written on some rice.
If you don't think I'm gonna fuck up a rent-a-cop, you don't know me. You don't know Troy. You don't know Troy.
Heelys on. I don't give a fuck.
I got my gloves with little light bulbs on. And I'm gonna wheel my bitch out there. I'm gonna
I liked it when they started changing the Highland Mall to half mall, half community college. Because I went in there to get a grill one time. I had like a 3-teeth grill. And the guy was like, hey man, I gotta be quick. I got class up the hall in 15 minutes. And I was like, I love it here. I want to live here, man. This place rules. At the Sunrise Mall, the Fight Mall in Citrus Heights, they want to turn it into half mall and half people live in there. And I just couldn't imagine being like, yeah, I woke up, saw a fight by the fucking Orange Julius, and now I'm going down to the $4 theater to watch a movie that you can get on Netflix for free.
Well, it's come full circle, capitalism to affordable housing.
Yeah.
Like, side by side.
Mm-hmm.
I want to live right next to the
All
football
right,
field.
everybody. I hear malcontent. everybody, welcome to Bad News. This is the Bad News podcast. With me always is
JT Kelley.
I'm Sam Castillo, and of course,
what's up, Jimmy Clifford?
What's up, Jimmy Clifford? Everybody, with us we have some great guests. We have the amazing, very funny comedian Heather Keith.
Hello.
And the dog with his balls.
Yeah.
Full balls intact.
I don't know if we have a
Working
ball,
sperm in
we don't
there.
have a dog cam, but we had a ball cam. And our guest, anarchist Riley.
Yeah.
Or you can give your full name. Go
My
ahead.
name's Riley Endicott.
Riley Endicott,
Yeah.
everybody.
Nice. All under case.
This is the show. Yeah, for all you... For all you Healy heads out there, we're trying to wheel on in.
I've read Croptokin. I get it.
So this is the show where it's only bad news. It's never good news, or it's no news. It's bad. It's nothing.
This isn't those TikToks where a woman's just showing you a video of a golden retriever that saved his owner on a 911 call. You know, that's good news.
That's good
And
news.
I love those videos.
I love those videos.
We should do that, actually. Honestly, I love those.
We talked for almost an hour and a half about a man who flew a plane in the IRS building last week. So maybe we should talk about babies that, like, you know, speak multiple languges or something.
We
That
should
would
put
be-
Louie in a wheelchair for no reason.
Yeah,
have
let's just
him waddle around.
get a bit of the hawking one. You know?
Feel good stories.
We have a really cool story, but before that, we are going to belabor you with some Ozempic talk.
Oh, Ozempic. Yeah, dude. I always thought I would just be fat forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I got kind of fit, and then quarantine happened, and I got way fat. I gained like 60 pounds in 2 months, and honestly, it ruled. I was eating so good. I'm surprised I didn't get gout. It was incredible. And then ever since then, I've been like, oh, I'm gonna lose weight. I just don't. And so I was like, what do I have to do? And someone was like, oh, you have to like not eat a bunch of food and work out. And I was like, besides that. And so I found out about Ozempic. Do you guys know about it?
Yes.
I was blown away. I had no idea there was a cheat code to not being fat.
Yeah, I looked into it.
I was so excited. The first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that's bullshit. And I Googled it and I was like, oh, this is real. And I immediately bought it offline.
Really?
Immediately. Yeah, absolutely. You can get it off the
Wow.
internet.
Drop
It was-
the link. Drop the link.
It wasn't cheap.
Yeah, no,
It's
yeah.
like $1,200 a dose, right?
No. I spent,
Without fucking what is it called? Insurance.
I think I spent just under $600.
Yeah, you gotta pay rent on that bitch.
It was like
yeah.
500 pesos in Mexico at a pharmacy.
Oh, really?
No, I want that
30
Mexican
US dollars.
Ozempic.
Yeah.
Like just about,
Ozempico.
yeah.
I want that Ozempico for sure. But I thought, so my dad has diabetes, right?
Uh-huh.
And he has these self-contained needles and he needs to give himself like insulin or whatever. He goes, it's out. It's like a sci-fi future thing.
Yeah.
That's what I thought Ozempic was going to be. And I got it. And it's straight up heroin needles in a
Yeah.
little thing.
You did it, and then you have to put it in the spoon, and then you have to burn it, and then you have to put it back in, and then you go.
You put it, yeah, you
have
melt
to
it
suck
down.
a dick first and then pay with a credit card.
You have to hang out with Dan Nolan.
It's a life-ruining amount of steps to get there.
You have to hang out with heroin addict, roast battler Dan Nolan. It's a whole thing.
He's gotta call you gay a couple times.
Ryan Mose has to go, why are you doing this to him? Why are you doing this to him?
Why are you doing this to his fat ass?
Why are you doing this Ozempic fat ass?
Man.
They do a couple things about how he wish it was gravy, not Ozempic. You know?
I do.
Wait, so
God.
did you
you do it?
inject her?
No way.
Oh,
my
yeah?
God, I'm so scared. So when COVID first came out, I told everyone I was an anti-vaxxer just because I was scared of the shots. I don't want to get shot. In order to get the shots, my wife fed me Xanax and drove me to the little
Wow.
shot thing
Yeah.
and watched them do it because she knew when she lets me go in there, I'd be like, just give me a Band-Aid so I can go outside. My wife's going to buy me whatever or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that. And I got it and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's funny because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wasted money on this. I don't have the stomach for it. Well, I have like the tits for it for sure. I just don't have the spine to
You
shoot.
have the stomach.
Yeah, I have the stomach.
You actually have the stomach.
I definitely have the stomach for Ozempic. Yeah, I do. I can't do it. Oh my! I even shot it up. I got there. I got the little needle and I put it in the thing and I worked myself up. I was like, I started to get hives. I can't do it. I can get tattooed. I can get pierced. You
Yeah.
want to stick a needle in me, baby? I'd rather die.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Right.
fucking die.
How would you feel if your wife started doing it while you slept?
To me?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish she would. I wish she would do it. She was like, "You're getting Ozempic?" Yeah, baby. You want in? She was like, "I do not. I work out every day. I don't want Ozempic." I was like, "Okay, it'll be my thing.
You wake
do
up-
your thing. I do mine."
You wake up to her with the back, like running a bag of knife like in your hair, and her just injecting it into your ass.
I wish, man. I wish. I wish I had a tie me off wife. I wish she would tie me off. Babe, will you just tie me off? So I've been such anxiety about it.
Oh my God, babe, you're so complicated. Oh my God, you're like so troubled. Did you see to hear him play the piano and like you get it, you know? Between my toes. What if he trick you into putting it in between your toes so you feel adventurous?
So it feels like,
Help me get well. Help me get well before we go to bed. Just help me feel good real quick. Help me get well.
That was a fun time.
Yeah.
I remember working as a lifeguard at a YMCA in a bad part of Dallas and seeing in between the webbing of someone's toes.
Yeah, get
Track
it.
marks on the toe.
Get it in between your toes before you lose your feet.
you know, I did heroin for over a year, for almost 2 years, and I never shot up just because I was scared of shooting needles.
Wait, what was the beginning of that
heroin.
sentence?
I smoked heroin for years. I snorted
So
it,
cool.
smoked it, ate it. I wanted to shoot it, but I was too
Ate
scared
it,
to do
boofed
it.
it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd be boofing
I
heroin.
mean,
I've boofed enough H to say howdy,
Little
okay?
horse in my ass, yeah.
I'm a married man.
I've lived life, baby. I've settled down, you know? I'm not boofing heroin anymore. I'm watching the new episodes of Love is Blind tonight. If I'm the bad guy in the story, fine. I'm bad, but I'm a
Sorry,
little
guys.
sleepy.
I did.
I'm just a little sleepy and warm.
I used to date a guy who was always like, "We should try heroin together."
He was already doing heroin.
Yeah, he was.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret.
He fully was.
That's someone trying to drag you
No.
down in the gut. I've been that
There
boyfriend.
was one time I was like, I tried cocaine for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cool. I did heroin this weekend." and I was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "You can't get mad at me." I was like,
Oh,
"What?"
that's so cool. We're driving to my pickup right now.
Heather, when you point, 3 fingers point back at you, okay? I want you to remember that.
You did cocaine. I'm pretty sure it was meth, though.
Yeah.
It always is. When it's good,
Always is.
it's meth.
It was like little yellow rocks that we crushed up.
Yeah, you know what I found out actually from a guy that seemed like a real like smart cocaine guy. Maybe I'm just repeating drug addict stuff. He said, "Hey, if cocaine smells like gasoline, that means it's actually good because it's freshly like processed."
I used to
I said, "Okay,
brother,
Yeah.
that was me.
Did you say that?
There was like a.
What's funny is I have heard you say that.
I swear to God, that was like a thing where we'd be like, you wouldn't dredge gasoline on meth. You would just play it off as coke. Like you watered down the coke with the meth, with the gas, you know. And then you'd be like, oh, if it's yellow, it means it's actually pretty pure. And it's like, I don't know. It's still making me want to shit.
Yeah, peace of mind, but
The
not like test
laxative.
it.
If you got that like
Oh, yeah.
drip. That was like so uniquely laxative, and then your stomach would get all messed up. You're like, oh, I'm having fun on coke.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Are
that
we having
drip
fun?
laxative?
Huh?
Is that drip laxative? The drip you feel on cocaine? Is that just the laxative?
Oftentimes.
Oh, I thought that meant I was high on cocaine.
I mean, yes.
You know how I knew I was
it is
high? I
in
was
your-
horny and chatty.
You got horny on coke.
Oh, yeah.
That was meth then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Real coke makes you. Real coke is you are like turned off to sex and you are focused on something really
Yeah.
not.
Oh, I
like,
need that
there.
in life.
Yeah.
I would be so good at my job if I had cocaine at it. If I could just do cocaine at work and just like not be horny and distracted.
Yeah. Did I
and
s-
instead be like, I'm gonna make fucking deals. You
That's
know?
what the cold calling job I worked at. Everybody was on bad
Oh yeah,
coke.
a lot of people do cocaine. It's crazy.
At fucking Main Street Hub.
Oh yeah, they're just pacing around the room doing sweating their fucking balls off, being like, "I'm trying to help your auto shop." Some guy in St.
Well,
Paul,
you don't
Minnesota.
understand, dry cleaner.
People are looking at these pages every single day.
I used to do coke just to get over my hangover at poke.
Sure. Yeah,
That's smart.
Good time.
Yeah. So we have a couple cool segments. Let's do the NYPD.
Oh yeah, do you want to pull up the initial NYPD video?
So some of the bad news we have this week is the New York Police Department, and you know, there's been discussions about spending about police departments, specifically NYPD in the post-pandemic. You've seen stabbings having on the subway. You've seen people being pushed in front of traffic. You've seen people die. Rising rent costs, rising food costs. What do we get with higher taxation, more crime? But I'm telling you, what really the bad spending with the NYPD is the extracurriculars, because your taxpayer dollars are paying for this first video.
When people say the NYPD is a gang, this is what they're talking
This
about.
is what they're talking about.
This is 100% what
It
they're
is
talking
bad
about.
actors using your money in private interests.
You can't get rent stabilization to
No.
be effective across the U.S.,
Can't
but we
get
can
it.
pay for the NYPD to dance for us.
Can't get a goddamn
No one
mutual
asked
aid.
them for this
No.
either. You know what I mean? There are actual requests into the NYPD right now where it's like, we want, community policing, or we want, accountability, oversight. We want that guy that got arrested for being a cannibal to be back on the force.
What we want is someone to catch the non-existent Town Lake killer.
Uh-huh. Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Is that guy real, or is it just drunk people falling in the water?
It's a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
It's all by Southwest. It's actually Meow Wolf.
So when they are not serving and protecting the community, these members of the NYPD like to bust a move.
Oh, yes, okay. They are the NYPD dance team, and they are looking for a few good people who share
They
their
can't
passion
even get
for
us
dance.
internet.
Joining
These
us,
goddamn
Sam
cops.
Squad and the president, Autumn Rain Martinez. Good morning.
Good morning.
How we doing? Now, anybody can join, or do you have to be a member of the NYPD?
So any member of the NYPD, uniform member of the service, or any civilian member of the service can join the NYPD.
We have a
Wait, those girls are cops?
Yeah, so what you guys are seeing on the screen right now, these are active duty New York cops who decided to put a dance team together.
It looks like they tried to do volleyball and no one knew how to play volleyball, and they're like, okay, so what's the...
I'm speechless right now. I really, out of context, I didn't think that this is what that was.
Yeah.
What did you think we were talking about?
I thought that this was complete satire. I had no concept, and then conceptualizing it.
Oh,
right
no,
now
they're
is
buying-
absolutely batshit.
Oh, they have unmanned drones for sure. But what they also have is 40-year-olds dressed in.
It's like
The
a
lady's
do-rags.
like, we could either go over to Israel to be trained for 6 months with the Mossad and IDF, or join the dance crew. We'll get paid the same bonus either way.
like a great value Volo League.
$5 says the top comment is this the canine?
Honestly, I can't breathe. Takes my breath away, because it takes my breath away!
This video went on for 9 minutes.
You know what's funny is like
How
growing
much of
up
it-
in church. This is like the same type of thing they did in like
Yeah.
elementary youth group. You hit the stage, except you're doing Soldier of the Lord stuff.
Yeah.
This, they're just like beating up guys that are trying to sell Lucy cigarettes on the side of the road.
Yeah, God forbid a Guatemalan abuela is selling chicharrones next to the train.
Put on your knee pads, lady. We gotta dance. Okay, hang on. That one in the middle, though, she's got something, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like
You know
a
what
police
she's got.
apologist right now, but I'm sorry.
They're like suddenly the diversity hierarchy.
Do you think you'd feel like a bitch if that was one of the cops that like put you in jail for
All right,
life?
we gotta pause this.
You're like,
Oh
"Fuck
yeah,
me,
you're getting
dude."
beat up in jail. Like, that's you?
Is that the woman who broke my daughter's jaw? No, that's the one who broke my son's jaw.
Man,
They were busy standing outside a bodega, and they said, "How about you dance for us?" And they said, "You got it. We're not doing anything today. You have dance shoes? No, we don't. Good. Wear your service shoes." Got the Tupac bandanas on. I love them, man. This is hard. You know how they call everything propaganda?
Yeah.
It's hard not to be on their side when you watch this. This is the most endearing propaganda I've ever seen. I watch this, I go, oh, that could be me and my friends goofing around.
It could be me and you.
Yeah. Oh God, this could
on
be
Pix
us.
11, dancing.
Yeah.
If we
In order
had,
for that to be both you guys would have to wake up before like 7 a.m.
Hey.
The-
Hey. I wake up in a cold sweat every morning, wondering why the fuck am I not a cop? Why am
have the
I
dance.
not out there dancing?
you don't have the moves, baby.
That's,
You're too, yeah, Sam couldn't make it. He couldn't pop, lock, and drop it.
he has the right amendment.
I would make a good cop.
I can't wait for all these people to be fucking replaced by AI.
Instead of stopping and frisking, it's stop. Hammer time.
One of the funniest things I remember from like daytime television, because I was homeschooled, so I watched like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Was when they were talking about Stop and Frisk on Tyra Banks' TV show, and
Yeah.
they brought this representative.
wait, what?
Do you remember Tyra Banks' TV show?
Yes.
America's
came
Next
up?
Top
Oh,
Model.
dude, she covered everything. No stone left unturned. It's Tyra, dude. She has a Harvard education. She knows what she's doing.
really?
Egg on my face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Tyra has such an amazing story.
Tyra.
Wow.
She was also homeless briefly for her show.
I thought that was a show about like what's the best press on nails.
That's so America's Next Top Model.
How to
It's a little more
smize?
surface
Do
level.
you guys know about this?
What's this
What was
now?
that?
How to smize?
What is
What's that?
smize?
It's a Tyra Banks coin. She teaches you how to smile with your eyes.
You do
Smizing.
it. You're a Tyra Banks student. I saw the
Smizing.
smile in your eyes.
Yeah.
Man.
Wait, zoom in. Smizing.
You can see the joy when you do that, though. You really sat at her feet. You're a disciple.
Love me some Tyra Banks.
I was a huge Tyra fan, too. I watched most of the seasons of American Next Top Model. Loved it. Watched her show religiously. Loved it. Then when they had the stop and frisk guy on, he was like the commissioner of police or something.
Yeah.
He was a bald, skinny white dude wearing a white suit, like an old town, tiny Confederate-looking guy.
Sure.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And they're talking like, 4 out of 5 people that you stop are black. He's like, we stop everybody. We stop everybody, Tyra. And I was like, was this propaganda made for a race war? This is insane. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's hilarious.
Look, 4 out of 5. Okay, I thought that was 3/5. I'm sorry. My math is off.
Their stop and frisk was crazy, man. Do they still do that in New York? They still do stop and frisk?
I'm not sure. I can look it up.
Yeah, they
Will
don't.
you
They,
look up
well,
the-
no, they stopped it during the Bloomberg administration, but it still happens.
Will you look up the Tyra, just a screenshot of the Tyra episode I'm talking about, so you guys
Yeah.
can
We
see
gotta
this
give him
little
one. We
diva?
gotta one at a time.
Yeah,
Wait,
he's got a lot of work to do.
Google
We're giving him a little
smizing.
risk. We've seen it. If it was in the dictionary, it would be a little gif of that.
What was your daytime show?
Growing
Riley?
up,
Yeah, what was your daytime show? You were Maury?
Maury?
I think that was my
Popovich?
guilty pleasure. But you know what? We weren't even. I was poor, right? So
That's
we-
Maury.
Yeah.
So you
Judge
were
Judy
on,
family.
your family was on Maury.
I was Judge Brown.
Oh.
That's yeah, and Maury.
Wow.
Judge Brown's the one that
There
used to
was
be a
some
criminal,
overlap.
right?
I didn't know that pipeline.
No, that was. I think that was Mathis.
It was Mathis. I promise it's a real thing. One of them, it's like it's in the intro. But yeah.
Did Mathis get stopped by that white little cop? I'm going to the TV set. You know me.
Man.
What was your show, Heather? What was your daytime show?
My daytime show? I guess Maury. Yeah. Maury. And wasn't there another guy who did exactly? Oh, Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
That was the classier
Dr.
one.
Phil is still a guilty pleasure, actually.
Yeah. Love Dr.
Early
Phil.
Dr. Phil was so good. His early work, when he had his son on all the time. He had a drug addict son, all that he'd have on all the time. It was incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was so good. He brought his band on. He tried to launch his son's band on his TV show. They're called like 100 Handed or something. Some of
Yeah.
the worst music you've ever heard in your life.
Their
It was
first
so
single
good.
was In Between the Toes.
It was one of those types of bands that you couldn't tell if it was for kids or not. Like it
Yeah.
seemed really childish and like manufactured, but the songs were like sexual candy on my tongue and stuff like that. Interesting stuff.
I gotta be honest, I zoned out until you said sexual candy on my tongue.
What did he say that
Wait,
was so
what?
boring that his Dr. Phil's drug addict son call me when you say sex. What do you need to stay focused?
It was the candy part.
It wasn't
Give me
even.
Ozempic.
It was Ozempic.
Give me Ozempic, and I won't tune out until you say candy.
Man, I wish I could do Ozempic. I long for it, but it just shooting up scares me
eludes
so.
you.
Yeah, God, fickle mistress.
Every day it laughs at you. Every day you brush your teeth and not floss, it laughs at you.
I just look at the Ozempic. You know, you don't even have to keep it in the fridge. You can keep it on your person. No, just- It's like-
Do you have to keep it refrigerated?
I don't know. I thought you did. If you guys
down the
want to
street.
get me, I would love if you guys got me. If you guys can just get me,
Oh,
I'd
you-
be so thankful.
You're gonna get got.
Yeah, we will get your wife a trank dart gun.
Dude, ketamine my ass out.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, ketamine's more cost effective at this rate.
Yeah.
It's like $200 an hour, maybe.
Especially if you got the same Ozempic guy in Mexico that you do for ketamine.
Yeah.
It's only 200 pesos.
What is
All
that,
about
10
budget
cents?
traveling.
Yeah. What's the?
Okay.
Slab City?
Yeah. So we want to watch the backlash video or the response video.
Oh, yeah, let's watch
Is
the
it
response
funny?
video. I didn't honestly watch much of it. I watched like 2 seconds. And I'm like,
Damn it. All right.
It's funny to me, just the whole concept. Because, I mean, they dance and people didn't like it. Could you imagine
Yeah.
dancing and people going, don't do that?
It's like the last thing you see on death row.
Yeah.
It's like either way, it's win-win. It's a morale booster. You're suicidal as is.
I love the
And
idea.
me. It's the Ozempic street time.
All those dance cops get like caught for something and they're all put away. And you know how like Derek Chauvin got like stabbed like 70 times in jail recently. Like all those dance cops have to be put in their own section of the prison. And like in the prison, like all the criminals are like whistling at them. Ooh, we got our dancers here.
Real West Side Story. Real West Side Story going on in there.
Fresh meat. Yeah. This is.
They only stab like this, like.
Yeah. Do you remember that guy that was like famous? That like is like a viral video in the early 2000s because he goes before the judge and goes, "I'm sorry, 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 sorry."
I've never
Tell my
seen
victim,
that.
I'm sorry, sorry. So cool, absolute G move.
I'm sorry.
I would love if these ladies got that. They caught up on their drug charges or whatever they're doing, and they're just like, officers, judges, let us dance.
So
let us free ourselves.
that is what we'll have to go out on. The last thing we'll ask of you is if you can pull up the video. It's "Criminal Sings for His Freedom." That's going to be the video we go out on. In
gotta
the
see
meantime,
that.
if we can play the second link in the Google Doc. It's going to be it's going to be the response from our cops here. That'll be yeah.
Criminal sings to judge. God, I love the world we live in.
Right.
It's like a Miranda sings apology video.
7 years ago.
Adele-inspired song.
Yeah. We'll go out on that one later. But if we can play right now the second link in the Google Doc.
Okay. Shit.
He says Adele inspired. Adele's like, can you just sing a song? Just say he sang a song. Man, is Adele still making music?
She's on Ozempic.
Is she?
Oh, yeah.
I love Adele. You know what? She's rocking fat. Is she not fat anymore?
No, bro.
No.
Really?
She turned her backs on the community, dude.
You can always tell when someone's supposed to be fat too. When
Yeah.
they get skinny.
When God
And
made
you're like,
them fat. Adele,
Yeah.
God made fat, right?
Yeah.
You can tell.
Uh-huh.
100%.
Same with Rebel Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen videos of
Not
her
sure who that
recently?
is.
Dropped
She's
off the face of the earth.
yeah. She was in Bridesmaids.
I've seen
No.
Bridesmaids.
What's her bigger role? Oh, Pitch Perfect. Fat Amy.
The character's name was...
Fat Amy.
Well, that'll push you.
I remember
Yeah.
for real.
Hey, Mom, Dad, I finally booked a role.
Yeah.
What's the name of it, honey? You're my beautiful, proud daughter. Hey, it's Amy.
Dude.
No, babe. Tell her what it is. Oh, it's Fat Amy.
I swear to God,
fat
I was in a
fuck.
play in high school where the scene was Michael Phelps got scared of the pool but kept eating 10,000 calories. So I played Act 2 Michael Phelps, which was fat Michael Phelps.
This was a play your high school made?
Yeah, and they were like, "Hey JT, do you want to play fat Michael Phelps? It'll be really funny." I was like, "Yep." And the whole bit was like, I just went out in the guy before me's costume, and I was just fat Michael Phelps, and I went out in his costume, leveled. The whole church sanctuary died
You
laughing.
did it for church?
What was that?
You did it for church?
Oh yeah. Oh, I did that for the Lord, dude.
You did that for
You think I was acting on stage for myself, for my own
Oh,
goodness?
baby Jesus? You did
Nah, dude,
that?
I put that onto him,
You
dude.
put on a Speedo for baby Jesus?
Dude, I did that for the Lord, dude.
Here we go. So this is the reaction, the response.
NYPD said that we got to talk about this.
They're like, we have a lot of other things to address. We have a lot of mothers, a lot of widows and mothers to apologize to. But let's do this.
I'm sure all this isn't just to bury headlines what actually is going on.
Responding to the intense backlash aimed at its dance team following a performance on the Pix 11 Morning News. The segment going viral on social media.
Yeah, critics not
endearing.
shy so far with their opinions, firing off cheap shots, frankly, towards the dancers and the
Who
department.
else? Yeah.
Team's captain this morning
Are you
appearing
talking
on
about
Pix
Heather's
11
canine line?
responding to the hurtful comments.
I said someone else said that. Don't put that.
Then to have more things like that for doing something that we love doing is kind of hard. But at the same time, we are looking for support from each other and within ourselves to keep up dancing.
Anyways, I
And
evicted
among
a single
the
mom
deluge of
yesterday.
comments, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who tweeted, quote, "How many school music programs got defunded for this?"
Probably
Okay, so
none.
the answer-
Probably none.
Probably none.
Pause this.
Respectfully.
How many schools have music programs, period, to defund?
Sorry, the cops gotta dance, Billy. Violin class is canceled. Cops gotta dance on TV.
It's so funny that I'm so gullible. I was like, oh, yeah. And then you guys were like, no. And I was like, oh, no.
No.
She's
We
wrong.
defunded that for the first Afghanistan war, you know?
Those are
This is why I
defunded.
don't tell people I'm political. I go, I'm not political because of this exact moment.
My
Me being
favorite
like,
is-
you're right. It
My
was-
favorite is you do vote. You go in with no knowledge and you just click things.
Hey,
and you,
I do like a I do like a last minute study for finals research thing.
Crunch
you know
time.
what I mean?
You voted for Kanye.
Exactly. I did my research.
Did you vote recently? Did you vote
No.
for every topic? I've never voted. Do you have to vote for every topic, or you can't vote, or can you say I only want to vote on a couple things?
You can skip. You can skip around. Like I went
Pass.
in.
That's what I would. Not you, man.
He just starts crying.
Like, pass on. I don't want to vote on it. You can
What's
skip
that?
though.
What's that over there?
You can do that. You can just pass on certain ballots.
Gremlin, dude. Little fiend.
Why'd you wipe it before you gave it to her?
Because I'm kind.
Okay. Are you gonna wipe it when she gives it back?
Also, I have really dry lips, and I think I left a lot of dead skin on it.
You did? Confirmed.
Yeah, I'm a real lady killer, huh? Quit bragging, huh?
I've never heard a girl be like, "Dad, his lips are so wet. I gotta fuck him." You're good.
Yeah, I love the way
boys are juiced
the
up
way
lips
he
over
look, the
there.
way his wet eyes and lips look at me.
Absolute frog-like.
What a chameleon. I feel like
Did you
guys
vote
are
on every
old-
topic, or did you skip? Did you pass?
I voted on everything.
You voted on every single
Yeah.
topic. Were there a lot of them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
there's always.
There'll be ballots named like 108, and I'm like, are there 107 other ballots I have to vote on?
But
if
that's
I
the
vote?
first. That's the one that actually got on the thing.
Oh,
Like, so it'll be like petition, like, or it'll be like Prop 108. But that's the only one that actually got on the ballot because he got enough petitions signed.
I don't remember. I just remember there was like a thing. I got a pamphlet that from like the Democratic Party that was like, "Here's how you should vote," and it showed you exactly how to fill it out.
You
but no, I
fucking-
didn't do it. I didn't do it
You
the way they did
fucking
it.
cheat.
I looked at it and I went, "Huh," and I googled everyone that told me to vote.
I did my own research and ended up agreeing with them on all of it. Sure.
This is so interesting to hear because growing up, Heather was an anarchist in high school. Like that's how we became friends. Is that
I
she
guess I was just a little shitbag, really.
You were
Well,
like,
how so? What do you mean?
you're like, no, I just was moody.
we became friends because there was a political climate at our school that
What was the political climate at your school?
Okay.
you explain it. No, you'll do
No,
a better
you
job.
you did the protest. You did the whole thing.
Whoa, there was-
Yeah.
you guys walked out of class.
We got
thing.
real live Antifa members here in the studio.
No, not really, because when you hear the story, it's an association with Planned Parenthood. So I worked for the 501c3 and 501c4 aspects of Planned Parenthood at the time, and there was a lot of conflict with sexualizing the students, with teachers being very involved in how the females were dressing and what they were wearing, and
They'd be like, the red matches your eyes better. So.
Let's show a little cleavage, sweetheart, all right? It's Friday.
It's Spirit Day. Whip those tits out.
but the leftist to apolitical pipeline is interesting to me. You know?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just dumb. I don't know.
I call it a crack pipeline, baby.
But
Ozempic.
but Riley got everybody to wear shirts, white shirts that said what did they say?
I don't fucking
They
No
were
gays
like-
in school.
Yeah. It said something like Cheyenne Mountain High School is like sexist, blah 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 blah.
Hell
All this-
fucking yeah.
I did not make a shirt because I was really embarrassed.
You didn't wear a shirt?
I had so much anxiety in high school, and I was really scared of doing
I
it. So
know
I
you.
didn't.
I know who you are. You put your Invader Zim hat on low, and you kept on going.
He brought the sleeves out like this. You brought these sleeves out.
You put your thumbs through the thumb holes that you cut into your little hoodie. You put your Invader Vim flat bill low, and you kept going class to class. And you said, "Yeah, totally." Whenever the protesters were like, "Are you going to make a shirt?" Yeah.
First they came for the popular girls, and I did nothing.
No, but Riley wore hers. A lot of people wore them, and then Riley was like, "We get to gym class." She's like, "What the fuck? Where's your shirt?" And I was like, "My dad."
foreshadowing
Yeah.
for today.
When I found out you voted for the Democrat.
Yeah, I actually interned for Hillary right after high school.
And then I was like, "My dad saw it. He made me take it off," but I never made
Oh,
one.
the nail gaze.
I never made one.
And thus began. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
I was going to say, and thus beginning a lifelong pattern of blaming your father for something he didn't do.
Exactly.
Man, so you went whole like, man, I'm with it with the t-shirts, and you went whole like, I'm gonna fuck. Did you get into Occupy or something around that time?
I joined Antifa at UCCS.
Nice.
And then Milo Yiannopoulos ended up speaking at UCCS.
Yeah.
And the peak of my college career is being in one of his YouTube videos in the background holding a sign that says, Milo, Mino. And then I retired from...
Is it Santa Cruz, the slugs, the banana slugs? Is that what you're talking about? UCCS?
No, it's like the Great
CS.
Value sister school to CU Boulder.
Colorado
Okay.
Springs.
Okay, that makes sense.
You have Standing Rock energy.
Yeah, so I definitely was there for...
You went to Standing Rock.
What are you, like Forrest Gump for leftist politics?
Well, the ACLU would ship people. So if you signed up to volunteer with them or
Holy
to
shit, they were
canvas,
really busting
they would
Antifa.
They literally were busing them out.
bus
Do
you.
not
They
tell
would
my
bus you
parents
out.
about
They bust you and
So I
MS-13 out to Standing Rock.
I didn't know. I was at the Keystone Pipeline.
Oh,
So that was
Keystone.
out in Nebraska.
I
But,
see.
Yeah. That was the first time I had seen police on horses and them tear gassing locals.
I like the idea of us making, and you made a great point here, and this Hollywood, woke Hollywood, blessed Disney, what you need to make is a leftist Forrest Gump.
Leftist Forrest
Where
Gump.
It's like, I don't know, I was just going to the Starbucks in Capitol Hill. All of a sudden, all these nice green-haired folk pulled out weaponry.
Everybody shouting Occupy out by the city hall, and I came down to see what they was doing.
They was calling it autonomous zone. I ended up laying my head down next to Jenny for 45 days.
I love
outside of
camping
Seattle.
anyways.
Yeah. At one point, there's like a montage of him throwing a fridge through a window in Ferguson, Missouri. And he's like, we was told we were doing the right thing.
Were you at Ferguson?
I was not. No.
Okay. That would have been a crazy
That would've been
mic drop,
wild.
right? That would have been wild. Yeah.
You went to the George Zimmerman trial.
That would have been crazy.
yeah, Forrest Gump's at the George Zimmerman trial. I never understood what was wrong with a couple of Skittles and Sweet Tea. Seemed like he was just trying to get home. Oh man, that sketch is leftist Forrest Gump. I broke him. There we go. I properly broke him.
That's just funny, man. That just kills me. Oh man, I think one of the craziest things in the world is that George Zimmerman trial. Remember that? He's like a famous guy for the right wing now for like killing a kid. Man, Forrest Gump would not have been able to handle that.
To socially navigate that situation. You're saying a man
feels
with,
like a delicate intro.
You're saying a man with far end of the spectrum Asperger's couldn't navigate a man racistly killing a child? Mama said. Hold on. We'll get there.
You got it.
Mama said to always go to St. Paul, Minneapolis, Minnesota. All of a sudden, the police departments were on fire. I always thought they was our friends. Now I'm talking to the sexual harasser from Channel 4. What's that dude's name?
Andrew, whatever. I almost called him Andrew Horniman. What's Andrew Callahan? Andrew
There
Callahan.
you go.
Man.
He didn't molest me. I don't know what everybody was talking about. He's just always caught up in it. Milo, he actually gets lunch with Milo Yiannopoulos by mistake. He's on a park bench. That's how the movie starts. The movie starts. Exterior. White phosphorus gas. Underneath, we see one leaf fall next to a tall British pedophile. With a Greek last name next to it. Oh man, we wouldn't name him Forrest. What would be a real what's a real lib name? You know? Like Forrest is kind of redneck.
Does Jenny have long COVID?
Well, Jenny's non-binary.
Jenny has an invisible disease.
So she has a name like Sparrow. You know? Yeah.
Sparrow always said they looked femme, but more identified somewhere in the middle.
I tried to tell Mama, no, I'm not stuttering. She, they. Oh man, yeah. At one point, he meets Sparrow, and there's his son, and he's like, "Is he like?" She goes, "No, he's on estrogen."
Hormone blockers.
He's on blockers. I hope everyone watching this is politically alienated because we're just having fun.
Joke's on you. I don't know how to read. I've never read a political book in my life. Don't want to.
I agree with you guys until someone tells me not to.
I'm down with what the vibe is. Kind of like I grew up creationist, and then all my friends suddenly believed evolution, and I was like, oh yeah, evolution. Then I don't know the difference. I'm with it. Just kind of what the vibe is.
I just like the idea of like party pics and you in high school in the back going. Like, that's it. There's one kid hitting a gravity bong, and there's like one girl screaming, "We're getting lit forever!" And then like 4 over in the back left corner is how they're going, like trying to smile and do the shaka. And there's just like 311 Amber Is Your Energy playing in the background.
I was gonna say I would never go to a party. I was a little cunt.
Really?
I was a little cunt in high school. Yeah.
You were Invader
She can
Zim.
attest to
Heather was
it.
a bitch.
Yeah.
Really?
Huge
you
bitch.
were a sick, moody puppy.
Well, yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
that is the origin behind this. Is I like went over to this girl's house, and like in her kitchen, she just had this like big framed piece of art that I think she made, and it just said, "This house is for the sick, twisted puppies." And I was like, what the fuck? I mean,
She's in my mind.
I mean, your boy stuck around. But yeah, now we just go, oh my God, you're such a sick puppy.
Yeah, such a sick puppy. Yeah, I don't know. I was like depressed, and I thought everyone hated me, so I was a dick to them. It's like you know, 30 Rock. Have you seen that?
Yeah, maybe.
Tina Fey is like, she's like, everybody hated me, and she's like bullies the fuck out of everybody. That was me in high school.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was crazy. I was like, man, why don't I have any friends? And it's like, because you insult people to their face,
Yeah.
and you say it's a joke.
Yeah,
Oh,
I used to make Riley bully kids with me in school.
Nice.
And she's like, look, I'm just a political activist.
This is mutual aid. That's what mutual aid is right now.
She's like, I don't think I have any problems with the Gay Straight Alliance, okay?
Were you in Gay Straight Alliance?
No, but I think Heather was.
You were in Gay Straight Alliance?
No.
Team gay or team
No.
team
I'm
straight?
lying.
I was very
I'm lying.
closeted.
No, you just read manga, and you said it's pronounced manga.
I always thought a great way to weed out pedophiles in schools is to be like, okay, we're starting an anime club. Do any teachers
Yeah.
want to volunteer to help with it? And the
You know
first
what?
teacher that's like, oh, it's like busted. Check his hard drive.
Our math teacher was arrested.
Really?
At Cheyenne. Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, he was arrested for a relationship with a student. Yeah.
But I heard she was super mature. I heard she was like way cool and was actually flirting with
he?
him.
No.
Real Harvey Milk situation.
My brother's teacher just got caught fucking one of the students.
Nice.
That's like rule number 1 as a teacher, right? Don't fuck the student. Every day they're like, all right, guys, remember, they're going to be studying for the STAR test today. Got to make sure to hit those KPIs as far as your students' grades go. Also, remember, don't fuck those kids. Don't fuck. Everyone's like, oh yeah.
Hey, hands in.
Hands in.
Don't fuck them kids.
Don't put our hands on them.
No, you can fight them. Oh, you're gonna want to fight them.
What's the rule on tickling? Gray area. Busted. Busted.
Well, I think we were ready for our cool segment.
Cool segment.
Our cool segment. Our guest
Welcome to the cool zone.
Is
It's getting chilly in here.
her.
Welcome to the cool zone.
I thought you were really complaining about it. That got me. That got me.
Hand me my vape. Hey, Jamie.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Jamie.
Sorry.
So our guest I met yesterday at my place of work, and it came up organically that she lived in an anarchist community, one of the cooler ones, which is Slab City, California. It's an unincorporated part of Sonoran Desert.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, where like you can just like live.
Live is subjective. It
Well,
depends.
sorry, you're free to die.
exist.
You're free to die
Exactly.
there.
Nobody's thriving,
Well,
per
it's
se.
it's an interesting demographic. So basically, you're 35 miles from Mexicali, so the California-Mexico border, and it's van lifers, homesteaders, people who move out there to die, and people who don't have a choice but to die there. It's the poorest county in California. It's Imperial County. So it's a privilege that I have the option to leave, but it's also a privilege to be there and see the humanity of all these people. You've got a really eclectic demographic where, you know, I met old hippies from Woodstock. I met a lot of felons who couldn't reassimilate and go back into regular society. They can't work a 9 to 5. Nobody wants to hire them. And they make money in very interesting ways. So some of it's anarchy, some of it's really wholesome old people who just want to make a name for themselves and go out as an artist, you know?
What are some ways people make money?
Oh, this is fun. So while I was in Slab City, I made some videos while I was out there on Instagram, but there are different ways that you can make money, and one of the ways is called brassing. So at the base of Slab City is basically right beneath the Chocolate Mountain Artillery Gunnery Range, which is operated by the Navy or the Marines.
If you scroll down, Jimmy, at the bottom of this page, they have a tab for it all the way at the bottom of the bottom.
Yeah,
there you
so
go. Go up, go up,
You're
go up.
waking up to bombing.
Right
This
there.
is like the most active this bombing range has ever been. And a lot of people, what they'll do, there's only a few actually left who are able to do this because of how dangerous it is, but they're called range runners. So what they'll do is they'll trespass onto the government property, and then they'll pick up the brass drops from the artillery drops, and then they'll flip it in the county over.
Wow, like mice in a cartoon.
Wow.
That's insane.
And
So
so,
it's-
they sell it at a tin metal place?
It's not illegal to pick up the brass, but it's illegal to trespass. So when we go up there, you go up at night, you'll spend a few days, you'll pack a backpack, you'll carry the brass out, and then you'll flip it in the town over.
Did you brass?
Yes.
You
What did
brassed!
What would you make on an
Real
average
brass hole over here.
So it depends on the size of the brass pieces, but some of them can be up to $4, but it's like $1 or $2 for the smaller ones.
How much did you run up when you did it?
I didn't to get any of the money.
Oh, okay.
I didn't, yeah.
What's like an average run for someone that does a brassing?
$400 probably.
Okay, a couple of days,
Yeah.
For
$100 a
camping
day.
too.
I
Okay.
always liked camping.
Yeah, I mean, your only expense is like gas up there, so you're filling up $12, your ATV, your quad, and then you're going out there and you're brassing.
I like the
Brassing.
idea. That's where leftist Forrest Gump retires. We was always range running.
Yeah, that's one of the ways. And there's obviously other ways. I mean, I don't want to ignore the problems that Slab City has because I get a lot of slack for that online. You've got trafficking, you've got drugs, you've got people. I mean, it's a sanctuary state now, so the former isn't as popular anymore. You can just walk to the border and be like, I would like to be a U.S. citizen, and they'll give you some money and send you a plane ticket. But
That's something I don't like.
Is that true?
it is.
No,
Can I
no,
just
no,
walk-
no.
if
That's fine. What I don't like are the criticisms that naysayers about, and I'm not an anarchist, but I do stick up for the anarchists because the naysayers will say, oh, these anarchist communities, what do they always have? Human trafficking because there's no like oversight. Drug trafficking.
Yeah.
They have violence. You have like theft, robbery, rape, all these things. First of all, the society with oversight still has all of those
Those
problems.
exist in any poor
so
community.
at what point that you can't just call out something when you have those problems in your community?
Yeah, I want to add to that. I have been a lot of places. I've backpacked. I've traveled. I live in a school bus. I'm a solo female traveler. I'm 24 years old. I just got back from backpacking Baja. That's hitchhiking. That's literally just meandering. And I felt safer in Slab City than I do here in Austin. I mean, you guys have a serial killer right now, right? So
Maybe drunk people falling into the ocean. Maybe
I don't think
a
I'm the
serial
target
killer.
demographic from what I've heard, but I feel safer walking down the main stretch of Slab City than I would downtown Austin.
Yeah.
You know, I just walked Cesar Chavez the other night and I was like, oh. So, and I mean, trafficking is like overgeneralized too, right? You have
For sure.
what it primarily is in Slab, from my understanding and what I've been told, is coyotes, people who want to be reunited with their families across the border. So what they'll do is they'll pay people like Waterboy, my friend, who's like the sheriff out there, and it's not really a sheriff because it's lawless, but it's prison politics, and you definitely don't want to do anything to kind of get what's called burned out. So they'll pay coyotes and they'll get you across the border, but it's not so much like sex trafficking or any of that. And it's as dangerous as you make it. If you go out there and you're in bad stuff, you're going to become a statistic. And if you're going out there to homestead and, you know, have pigs and create acreage and not pay your taxes because you're dying from cancer, that's the life you have, you know?
One of the things, yeah, and I didn't mean to
No,
besmirch
no.
Slab City.
No, not
I
at
was
all.
talking about in general, like the critiques people have for like what happened at Chop and Chaz. You know, one of the things that happened at the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone during the pandemic was like they created their own self-governing police department, and some teens who were not part of the autonomous zone, who were like citizens of the city of Seattle, went to go wander in because they were curious high schoolers who were locked down, and they were like, hey, let's break curfew and just see what the autonomous zone is.
Sounds like there's a lawless neighborhood right next to us. Let's go check it out.
Let's go check it out. Just genuinely curious teen boys, like 16, 17 years old. And the self-appointed police department of the autonomous zone shot them for trespassing. That's not something that happens at Slab. It's something that happened at Chaz. But what was like? You said you had you knew the quote sheriff of Slab. Well, how does that work? Like, how do they appoint their sheriffs and police, their own governing bodies?
Everything is self-regulating. Sheriff is a generous term, and I could actually get in trouble for even using that. I know Waterboy doesn't like that term. Nobody likes that term because ACAB, right?
Right.
So. The way it works is there's kind of a hierarchy. Like I said, it's prison politics, right? So the longer you've been in for, the more respect you have. And Waterboy, over the years, he's been there. He's one of the oldest slabbers. To be a slabber, you have to be in slab for 8 years. You have to survive the summers. That's 115 degrees heat every single day. And that's hard because dope is cheaper than water out there. If you really think about it in the summer, if you break down that cost, it's like $45 to fill one of those cubes. And that's not how much a shot of dope is, you know? But basically, you hit him, he hits back, and typically that's the end of that. The only real people who get in trouble in Slab City are child molesters. Like I said, a lot of felons will go out to Slab City and because they can't re-assimilate to society. So there's this thing called Megan's Law, and it'll update you when people leave the prisons, and they'll kind of keep an eye out for that person, see if that person causes trouble, and if they don't, then they're okay for a little bit, and if they do, you probably don't see them again.
If I'm one of those old people that go there to die and raise pigs and someone fucks with me, what's my recourse?
Other slabbers will advocate for you, whatever that may mean.
Was there ever a dispute that led to a point of like a trial?
No trial. The police don't care about slabbers.
Not like, I'm not talking about like you go
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the
People's
County.
Tribune.
I mean, like,
No, I know.
was there a
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
cut you off.
yeah, the police don't care about slabbers. So
For
what
sure.
you have kind of the older slabbers. You have the community discussions. You have this page, which is actually open access. It's called the Slab City Uncensored. And basically what people will do is public discourse, and you'll kind of talk about what happened. If it's more under the table, you'll get it to Waterboy, you'll get it to other people in the community, and then they'll choose how to navigate from there. But typically, if you get hit, you hit back. It depends on how bad it is. The only people who are like in danger in Slab City truly are like child molesters, like people who are rapists, known for sexual like
crimes.
Yeah.
And I think the obvious difference between something like Chaz or Chop or whatever you want to call it in Slab City is like Slab City's, an off-grid settlement.
Correct.
While Chop is like, an active protest seizing what's currently private property with
Correct.
the attempt to either make it public or partially public.
Right.
And
exactly.
so like, the difference between some fool shooting some dudes burning down the street in Seattle, literally you're on the wrong block, you're in the wrong neighborhood, buddy, you're getting shot for it. And something like Slab City is like, this doesn't necessarily come and combat any resources that I currently pay for as a taxpayer.
Right. It's nothing was taken. This is already so self-evident.
This yogurt shop's now Chop's yogurt shop.
It's a very strong community where nobody's fighting for hierarchy. Nobody's fighting for the resources. The resources are there, and you're allocating with the community to make sure everybody's doing good. And if somebody steps out of line or takes something from somebody else, I mean, it'll settle. Everybody will settle it whatever way.
The beehive will.
Yeah.
So do you think it's like a direct democracy community or an anarchist community? No?
I think democracy is generous. I think that self-regulating is more of a way to describe it because it's more independent than that. Definitely not. I mean, you attract anarchists, but I wouldn't say it's anarchist community. I think that that's the best way to describe the general ambiance of it. Because you have, off-grid. I mean, it's really off-grid living. You have people who are there by choice and you have people who aren't there by choice. But no matter what, everybody's going to have a meal. Everybody's going to eat because everybody wants everybody to survive out there because they know how difficult it is. So it's a clean slate.
What's the median age of someone in Slab City?
So lots of 40 to late 60s. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
How many people out there roughly?
From what I've been told, in the winters, probably like 2,000. That's peak season because the summers are so hot, and then it'll go down to like 200.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is what I've been told. So I could be
sure.
like, if somebody sees this and it's a slabber and I get blasted on Slab City chatter, which is a thing that does happen.
Hey, slabbers out there.
Show some
Chill the
respect.
fuck out. All
Yeah.
right?
We're having a respectful conversation.
Okay. Why don't you focus on not dying in your 117 degrees and just enjoy the show?
Thank you for watching.
Never hear from me again.
How long were you there?
So on and off, I actually have to go back there before the 1st. My vehicle's out there. But in total, 3 months. I think I did 2 months back to back, and I was out there just documenting my friends, how it is, what they've been up to. I was actually out there meeting a guy named Bo Keeley. So my uncle is a famous hippie, and he traveled in his 20s with Bo Keeley and a few other famous hippies who started Rainbow. I don't know if you guys know about Rainbow. It's
The gatherings?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Rainbow
absolutely.
Gatherings. So he was one of the first people who bicycled through Europe spreading peace, love, and light in the 80s. He like freed prisoners of war through peaceful protest and is a very well-known character in the community. And so I have this whole side of my family, this whole paternal history that I'm trying to piece together, and Bo Keeley was one of the names I wanted to put a face to, and he lives in a container in Slab City. So I went out to meet him. He was my in. I definitely want to preface all of this with saying if you're a 24-year-old solo female traveler, you don't want to go to Slab City unless you have eyes and ears looking out for you, and you establish yourself in the community and are hopefully beneficial to it rather than detrimental.
Do they like if I went there just to see it, would they be like, yeah, dude, no looky-loos here? Or are they like, yo, looky-loo?
They would tell you to get
Oh,
out.
really?
Yeah,
They're not, because the videos I've seen is like, there's like a mini festival there that happens in springtime, I think, or at the end of summer, where people will come out and watch like, pretty much unorganized performances.
What they want is they need income, right? These are artists. These are people who are creating things who need cash because they're off grid. They don't have bank accounts. They don't have credit cards. Their only source of income is tourists, van lifers, seasonal workers like me who travel there, spend their winter out there, and then kind of come back the next season. So if you spend the night there, you gotta be wary. You gotta be wary. They're gonna warn you to leave. You really have to earn your keep to earn your spot. Yeah.
This is a weird question. Did they shoot a Kesha music video there?
Possibly.
This looks very familiar.
Possibly. I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be
Yes.
surprised.
I've seen it before.
Salvation Mountain was
Salvation
huge
Mountain,
on Tumblr.
yeah.
I was a very Tumblr
sure.
kid.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, dude. Oh, same demons for
we
sure.
do.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Did you like Warped Tour music?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. You hardcore music?
Are you pulling up the Kesha
Christian?
video?
Yeah.
Christian
Yeah,
rock.
Yeah.
Flyleaf.
Oh yeah. Did you ever go see Emery? I think their name was. Not
No.
Emery. Oh my god. I'm trying to think.
Oath.
Time will tell, ships will say.
No.
He will rise and random thing.
No, I don't need to. I have you.
You're welcome. Isley. Isley's the band.
Oh, no.
You know Isley? Perfect rendition of them. I did an absolute perfect rendition of Isley just there.
Is there anything else you feel like we were unfair about or like left
I don't
out
think you guys were
questioning?
unfair. I think that, with a lot of people's perception, especially of like me being 24 and kind of running around Slab City and living in a school bus out there, is there are some very real dangers.
For sure.
In fact, like one of my friends, Pete, was burned out like 3 days ago.
Explain to us what burning out is.
So burning out is the recourse that is at times taken when you've done something bad. Sometimes people don't deserve it. Sometimes, there's drugs involved. But they'll burn your belongings, and if you're really unlucky, they'll
They grab
burn
your
you.
shit and set it on fire.
Yeah.
And they
So-
set you on fire?
No,
Oh.
but Pete got burned out, and Pete, I don't know the reasoning. So
It's fine. We weren't going
Yeah.
to press the issue, you know.
We won't get federal.
But yeah, okay.
but it's really a recourse that's only taken if you're a child molester or there's a big
Which
amount
Pete
of money.
isn't.
No, which Pete isn't, which Pete wasn't, at least to my knowledge. I think his was drug related, I'm pretty
Is
sure.
this it, Riley? Or no? Totally different thing.
No.
Okay. Looks similar.
Yeah, it does give Salvation
Oh.
Mountain vibes.
I've seen that before.
Whatever. Okay. Non-pedophile Pete?
Non-pedophile Pete. He
As
was
far as
actually
we
really
know.
cool.
We're not taking a stand either way
He
as far
has a
as
different conspiracy around him, but
Ooh, okay.
What are the things that you... Well, I don't know. I got like 2 questions left. Do you have anything else?
32 questions. We'll talk about Pete off camera.
okay. I think that'd be
It's a good one. That's a good one to get on camera.
Can we talk about it on camera?
Yes.
Hit
Are
us.
you scared of being canceled? Well, you started this podcast by saying you were Jewish, so I guess that's what we need to know.
I'm not Jewish. If you guys better turn it off.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he left. He was, but he left the faith
Yeah.
recently.
Oh, yeah, you just have a dreidel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For
Sorry,
gambling.
Go ahead.
Well, what were your questions, and then maybe I can.
I feel like they're not going to be as interesting. Go ahead.
I just want to say we have to wrap it up in
we
like
gotta-
10 minutes.
Okay.
So Pete is a very eclectic soul. I spent a few days with him out there in Slab. Everybody in Slab has their issues. Pete was definitely a little bit of an alcoholic, and he dabbled and he did his things, but he was a very lucid and present person. Aside from the fact that he shared with me and with a few other people who have kept it very secret that he believed he was Hitler's son.
Right. You told me this yesterday.
Yeah.
Like spiritually or literally?
No, very literally. So Pete, very lucid man. He ended up joining the Air Force. It's this is like if Heather was listening to the story from Pete, she'd be like, yeah, he's Hitler's son. But it's a story that actually is very interesting because he basically left Germany when he was 6 or 7. They fled after World War II, and they ended up in the Pacific Northwest. And then after that, he joined the Air Force. He grew up and spent a majority of the time in like Paraguay.
Hey, he's a real boy from Brazil.
Yeah, a real boy from Brazil type of guy.
He spent, well, actually, I think I got the timeline wrong there. So they fled Germany, they went to Paraguay, and then they went to the U.S.
That's even more damning. Holy shit.
So they fled, it was Argentina to Paraguay.
No!
Yeah, there it is, baby.
The German, it was like a Germantown settlement. And so he had photos of growing up in Germantown. And he was talking to his sister, and referred to his mom as Ava, and he has the strongly held belief that his mom was Ava Brown, and that's what they refer to her as a family. And it's a very interesting thing. My friend Bo Keelio was talking about earlier. He sent this long paragraph about it today because Pete passed away, and it's like finally okay to speak about.
Yeah.
And he just got burnt out.
He got burned out,
And then passed away.
But they think it was cartel related. Yeah.
Interesting.
So.
Wow.
The burnout was cartel related, or his death?
Well, both, because he died. He burned alive.
At Slab City?
Yeah, he was burned.
So the cartel was involved in his burnout.
Well, I don't know that for sure. That's speculation. But
Okay.
he definitely, what I have been told, they don't know for sure.
This guy
Nobody
had
knows
a
for sure.
passport in Argentina. He lived in Paraguay. He had cartel in Colombia.
He spoke Spanish fluently. He spoke German fluently. I would hang out with him because we would speak German together. So my grandfather worked for IBM. They moved to Switzerland, and then they created like the TI-84. So I would go over and I would hang out with him.
Your grandfather worked for IBM, and then his son was involved in the peace hippie movement across Europe?
So he had 3 kids. My dad was Army Special Forces Green Beret, killed people for a
OSS.
living, and then my other uncle is Peace, Love, Light. So it was like Rainbow versus Rambo growing up, which is why I'm kind of more Rainbow than Rambo, and I'm trying to figure out the paternal side of my paternal
That's
family
the name of the
history.
book, girlfriend. More rainbow than Rambo. There it is.
So it's been interesting. And Pete, I kind of sat down with Pete. He told me about his Army escapades, and then eventually, Bo, and a few other people sat me down and were like, "This is the real story." And it's that his mom was Ava Brown, that she was younger than the media portrayed her. She was actually born in this German town, but because of her age, they lied about her birth certificate and said that she was born in Munich. And the age disparity between like her and Hitler was so abysmal that
Hitler
Technically-
said, I don't
technically
need
all
any more
tracks.
bad press right now. I don't want anyone to think I'm some sort of sicko marrying a teen.
Yeah. Obviously batshit, but that's like the eclectic nature of Slab City, which is not to justify the fact that this man is like, he wasn't.
This was the mayor. Kidding. It's a bad
no,
joke.
but
I called him the Führer. I called him the Führer of Slab.
Well, damn. All right. Well, everybody, there's plenty of documentaries. There's more. Read about Slab City, and definitely follow. What is the account for them to follow?
Oh, it's just my name, Riley.Endicott.
For more information on her time that she documented at Slab City, we appreciate you coming in here and talking a little bit about that experience.
Thank you for your service.
We
Thanks for having
appreciate,
me.
of course, Heather Keith. What's your Instagram?
Adult kiddo.
For being just funny, which is what she is. She's a funny person. Go see her be funny and live in person. She's a
Maybe
great
I'll
comic.
be smart one day.
And with me always is
JT Kelley.
my name is Sam Castillo, and our producer.
What's up? Peace out. Jimmy Clifford.
All right, we're Bad News. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much.